Picture this: one man, one rifle, one impossible choice. The town wants blood, the Apache women want life, and the cowboy who stands between them has already lost everything he ever loved. Stick with me until the final frame, because the ending will break your heart, then put it back together stronger than before. Chapter 1: Dust and Defiance. The sun bled orange across the Arizona Badlands when Elias Kane rode into dry wells with two Apache women tied behind his horse. Their wrists were raw, their braids matted with sweat and trail dust, but their eyes, those eyes, burned like coals refusing to die. The townsfolk poured from saloons and storefronts, pitchforks and pistols glinting. Traitor! Sheriff Harlan Boone spat the word like venom. You ride with redskin killers now? Elias dismounted slow, boots thudding into the dirt. He was 32, sun-leathered, with a scar that split his left eyebrow like a lightning bolt. His voice carried the rasp of a man who'd swallowed too much grief. These women didn't kill nobody. They were running from the same raiders who torched the McAllister place. I saw the tracks. A murmur rippled. Old man Jenkins clutched his dead son's hat. My boy's scalp was on a pole, Kane. You bring the devils who done it right to our door. Elias's hand hovered near his colt. I bring the truth. And I ain't asking permission. Behind him, the younger Apache woman, Nakeota, barely 20, lifted her chin. Her English was broken but fierce. We lose father. Lose brother. White men take our horses, burn our wiki up. We run. That is all. The crowd surged. A rock clipped Elias's cheek, drawing blood. He didn't flinch. Instead, he cut the women's ropes with a single slash of his Bowie knife. Gasps. Curses. Boone drew iron. Step aside, Elias, or I'll hang you with them. Elias met the sheriff's stare. Then you'll have to shoot me first. The street froze. Wind rattled the hanging sign above the jail. Somewhere, a baby cried. Elias felt the weight of every eye, every trembling finger on a trigger. He thought of his wife, Clara, buried 2 years under a cottonwood with their stillborn daughter. He thought of the promise he'd made over her grave, no more innocent blood on my hands. He spoke softer now, but the words carried like thunder. Dry wells taught me justice. Let me teach it back. Boone's gun wavered. The moment stretched, taut as barbed wire. Then Elias turned, offered a hand to Nakeota and her mother, Tiaene. They took it. Together, the three walked toward the jail, not as captor and captives, but as a fragile, defiant line drawn in the dust. The crowd parted. Not out of mercy. Out of shock. But the night wasn't done with Elias Kane. What happened behind those jail bars would shatter the town's last shred of certainty, and force a choice no man should ever have to make. Don't blink. Inside the jail, lamplight flickered over peeling wanted posters. Elias locked the cell but left the key in the door. Tiaene sat on the cot, cradling her daughter's head. Nakeota paced, a caged mountain lion. You risk much, Tiaene said in Spanish-tinged English. Why? Elias poured coffee from a dented pot. His hands shook, not from fear, but memory. My wife, she was Apache on her mother's side. Hid it. Town never knew. When the fever took her and the baby, folks said it was God's judgment. He laughed, bitter. I buried em anyway. Under the tree she loved. Nakeota stopped pacing. You carry our blood in your heart. No. I carry guilt. Difference is, guilt don't keep you warm at night. Outside, the town council met in the saloon. Boone slammed a fist on the bar. Kane's gone soft. We vote at dawn, hang the women, then string him up for treason. But not everyone agreed. Widow Hargrove, who'd lost 3 sons to frontier wars, whispered to the blacksmith, Elias buried my boy when no one else would. I owe him a listen. Midnight. Elias slipped out the back, found young Tommy McAllister, 14, freckled, clutching his pa's rifle. The boy's eyes were red-rimmed. They killed my sister, Tommy choked. Elias knelt. Your sister's locket was found 10 miles west, in a white outlaw's camp. I tracked it. These women were running from those men, not with them. Tommy's knuckles whitened on the rifle. Prove it. I will. But I need time. A shadow moved, Nakeota, having picked the lock with a hairpin. She held out the locket, stolen from Elias's saddlebag. This belonged to girl with yellow hair? Tommy stared. The locket bore his sister's initials. His hands trembled. Elias stood. Dawn comes fast. Help me, or hate me. But choose. By sunrise, Dry Wells would face a reckoning, but the real storm was brewing miles away, where the true killers rode with stolen Apache horses and a grudge older than the town itself. Keep watching. Elias, Nakeota, Taana, and a reluctant Tommy rode out under a moon like a silver coin. Their destination, the raiders' camp in Devil's Canyon. Elias's plan was simple: retrieve the stolen McAllister cattle, expose the outlaws, clear the women. Simple plans die first in Apache country. They found the camp at dusk. 12 men, drunk on mezcal, laughing over Apache scalps. One wore Clara's wedding ring on a leather cord. Elias's vision tunneled. Nakeota touched his arm. Anger is fire. Fire blinds. He nodded, but the ring burned in his mind. They waited. Midnight. Tommy created a diversion, spooked the cattle into a stampede. Chaos. Elias slipped in, cut the horses loose. Nakeota and Taana moved like ghosts, reclaiming sacred items from a saddlebag. Then it went wrong. A sentry spotted Tommy. A shotgun roared. The boy fell, clutching his shoulder. Elias roared, charging. Bullets sparked off rocks. Nakeota dragged Tommy behind a boulder while Taana fired a captured rifle with deadly calm. Elias reached the leader, Griggs, a scar-faced killer wanted in 3 territories. Griggs grinned, ring glinting. Kane. Heard you went Injun lover. Elias's Colt spoke twice. Griggs dropped. The ring rolled into the dirt. The remaining outlaws fled into the night. Elias knelt by Tommy, pressing a bandana to the wound. Hold on, kid. Na 817 ko ta tied a tourniquet. Taana sang, a low Apache prayer that sounded like wine through cottonwood leaves. They rode back under starlight, Tommy slung across Elias's saddle, the stolen cattle lowing behind. Chapter 3 Hook. Dawn painted the jailhouse red, and Dry Wells waited with ropes and rage. But Elias Kane was bringing more than proof, he was bringing a mirror. The final chapter decides who looks away first. The town square was a powder keg. Boone had the nooses ready. When Elias rode in, bloodied but unbowed, the crowd fell silent. Tommy, pale but alive, raised the locket. They didn't do it. These men did. He pointed to the branded cattle, the captured outlaw tied across a saddle, Griggs's second-in-command, spitting curses. Boone's gun hand twitched. One man's word. Widow Hargrove stepped forward. My boy's Bible was in that camp. Elias brought it back. She held the blood-stained book aloft. One by one, townsfolk came forward. A scalp that wasn't Apache. A child's shoe. Proof piled like cordwood. Elias faced Boone. Hang the guilty. Start with him. He shoved the outlaw forward. Boone looked at the evidence, then at Nakeota and Taana standing free, unafraid. Something cracked in the sheriff's eyes, maybe shame, maybe fear.